All right, hey, let's learn how to use your website. Here's what we're gonna cover. So we're gonna learn what the dashboard is, how to update text, how to change out your logo, work with buttons, where to go when you want to add a new image, how to add a new image, and then what the slider revolution is, which is your big video background feature to your homepage, and then how to add a link and the rest of this stuff we're gonna do, like adding pages or a new slide. It's pretty simple. I'm gonna try to get it done in 15 minutes. Let's see if I can make that happen. I think I can. So this is the dashboard. You can really honestly just ignore all of this stuff. What you're gonna be mostly using is under here, you're gonna go to menus every now and then. You're gonna go to pages. You're gonna ignore media and posts for the most part. If you want to add a new user, you come right here, add them, put their email address, give them a username, and then it's going to send them an email with their instructions on how to log in. Also, one big, very important thing for this is just make sure that when you add a new person that you make sure they're not a subscriber, but an admin or an editor. And then that way they can have the full use of the dashboard here and the tools that go with it. You can ignore pretty much the rest of this stuff. You do want to come to Slider Revolution and Divi. So let's go to updating the logo. So you're going to come in here. This is where your logo is. And then you're just going to want to upload your new logo right here. And that's going to end up changing out the logo right here on this header. So if you want to change out the menu, we're going to cover that. But first, let's go into super simple stuff. So right now, I was here at this dashboard. To get to the home page, you just go right here to visit website. And once you get there, then you're going to have this enable visual builder. That's the easiest way to update your website is using this. It makes just updating things super easy, and you will see how this all kind of works out. It's almost like using Microsoft Word at times. So right now, this is a slider that we just added. We're going to show you how to update or add a very similar slider like this one. But for now, most websites that we build are going to look more like main video background, and then it's going to go straight to this. So here's how you update this text. So you come in here and you literally just click and start. You can click and drag to take that out, and delete this if you want. Not if you just want to simplify, not a religion, a relationship. Ooh. All right, so hey, that's what I want. Let's save it, make it go live, right? So click that little purple button down there, and then you're gonna hit save. That's gonna make it live. So you don't wanna hit save unless you know for sure you want these changes to go live. All right, so that's how you just update text. If you want to change out the colors of this text, then hit this little green or this little button right here, the gear, and then select the text you want to change color to, and then just reference this header 2. So right now this is a header 2. That means in the design, you want to go into the heading text and then click on this header 2. And then now you can change that font however you want in here. Suppose you don't want it to be all caps. Suppose you want it to be italic. Suppose you want it to be left justified, and then you want it to be red or a totally different color. You do have a brand color, so you're going to want to copy and paste those brand colors here. Type these in, right? So that's how you update the text on your website. You don't want to change out the actual font because we're working with a brand strategy, right? So you just want to keep everything super simple and steady. And then also, this is the same font here, just smaller, right? So how do you change the font size? For this is just text, and so then the weight of the text can be bold, you know, if you change it out. Actually, that is not updating for some reason. If you're going to want to change out that text, just give it a header profile, and then just go into that heading profile, and then you can change this to whatever type you want. That's just going to make it super much more easier to work with, right? So, and if you take out the color, then just going to go to the default black. You can change the font size here however you want, the spacing between letters. You can make it centered. All of your controls are right here. All right, so that's working with text. All right, so now how do you work with these buttons? So working with these buttons is also just as simple. Right now, this is giving you a hex times. Okay, so what I've done is given this whole parameter here. So this is a little bit more complex. You're really not going to be doing a whole lot of this, but just so you know why that hex number is there. In advance, we gave that class a time, you know, a name. So this whole region right here, this whole block, this slide, has an ID to it, and I'm telling that link to go to that ID by giving it a link that says hashtag, you know, times, okay, so, or numerical number times. And that's gonna then just scroll down to that part of the page. Now, if you want to go to an actual URL, then you would, or a different page here, you know the page number, or you know the name of the page. So like right now, if I right click here and I go and I display this, this is the domain name, right? And then this is the actual page name. So if I know the page name, then I can copy that and then say here in this link, copy in to the link, and now it's going to go directed straight, it's going to link you straight to that page, right? And then if you wanted it to go to a new tab, then you can do it, you know, there. But the cool thing about that is that this just makes it super faster rather than having to go over here and copy this whole link, which you could do it this way too. It's just simpler to take out the whole domain because it knows where it's at. And so that's how do you update these buttons. If you want to update the colors of these buttons, then you can just go by, you know, to design the button. This is going to be the changing of the color of the text. There's a background color. So right now, if you wanted to change the background to black on that, then good. But if you notice, this has like a little bit of a border on it, and that's there right there. And then the actual text, make it white. And so now that's what it's looking like. But if you hover over it, then it's going to change, right? So you got the default view and then the hover view. So as soon as you hit this hover view, you're going to jump into this, all of the settings that correlate to the hover aspect of this. So you can make the border bigger or smaller, and so that's something to play with, and you know, you'll master it as you play with it. So as far as the next thing goes, let's look at images. Okay, so right now this whole slide has an image as a background. Okay, so if you wanted to swap out that image, then you would click that gear over on the section and then go to background and click on this part, this little like image section, and then click the gear, and then now you have the option to either upload a new image here or pick from another image. Okay, so like if we say that one, then okay, cool, that's now in there. This is a really small image, so if you click on this over here, it's going to give you the size of it. You want something that's bigger, that's larger, something a little bit bigger than, or the size of maybe the width of most screens, which would be like a 19 by 1920 pixel range-ish. Okay, so you know all of these are a little bit smaller, so you will want to replace that with an image that's quite bigger. And then that way it fits and doesn't look pixelated like the one that I just uploaded there. So if you notice, I have a few different sizes here because I was playing around with the best option for size. Okay, and then also file size, you want to keep it as small and as as compressed as possible. Use Photoshop for that. Anything that's shaded out like this means that it's going to be only view that view is not available for the desktop, but that is a disabled view for another type of view, which if you're going to look at the views for your website, you have the ability to do that. So anything grayed out is not going to show up in this view. Okay, so that means everything here is not going to be showing up on the phone, and then in this view setting, it's not going to show up either. And so just so you know, that's what that is communicating. The grayed out stuff is not showing in this view. And we're going to turn it back on by going to that gear to advanced visibility and then turning it on for these views. So moving on, let's do how to update the slider. So right now, this website has a video that's playing in the background with some text here. Suppose you want to update the text and the video. Okay, so you're going to want to come back to the dashboard. We're not going to save any of that craziness. So we're going to come to Slider Revolution because that's what's controlling that video background. And Slider Revolution is just a really great slider plugin. And so you'd come here to this main section. Then there's going to be different options for slides. We only have one in here for now, so let's click on that. We want to edit that one. And then we're going to want to update the video. So you create a new video, you export it, you make it a really low compressed MPEG file, and then you hit change video, and then you just upload a new video in here. Okay, so if you wanted to come here, select the file, upload it, and then you select that video file, MP4, and then you say insert, and then now that's going to be an updated video. Then to change out the image that gets shown right before the video plays, so if you notice right there, that's an image, and then it converts into video. So what you're going to want to do is when you make a new video, export the first frame and then optimize that with Photoshop, make it a small file, upload it, and then that way when your website loads, it's going to load that image, that first frame first, and then transition into playing the video. All right, so if you want to update the text on this, you're going to want to do that in each individual view. You're going to want to customize it, right? Because each view is going to require different size requirements and layout. Okay, so, but if you change the text here, you double click, and then it brings up this text editor. You belong here today. Okay, so right now that's coming off of the page, so you're going to want to click this button right here, and then you're going to want to bring that over, hit this centering. Wow. Okay, now this is a problem because there's not enough space there, right? So there's 120. So you're going to want to do like 100 spacing, and then, where'd it go? And actually is still there. Whoa, wait, what did happen? Oh, so 100 pixels, boom. Okay, if you were just wanting to do very basic text updates to the slider, that's how you do that. Same thing here, you just change this, the font. You can change that up here, or the weight of it if you want it to be bolder. You do it there, and then visually it'll show up on the front end. And you hit save right there, and then boom, it's going to end up loading on the front. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to make those changes live on my end. So what is next? Links. Okay, so we already covered that. Adding a new slide. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that on the front end here. So suppose we're needing to add a little banner up here because we want to announce updates for the coronavirus that's happening right now. Okay, so let's do that. So we're going to enable Visual Builder, And I'm going to show you the super quick, fast, and easy way to, kind of cheat a little bit, but it's just the fastest way to do that, in my opinion, would be to just go ahead and duplicate one of these sections. So now there's two of these, and it's going to already have all the formatting and everything that you want, right? And then go ahead and bring it up above this slider, and then now you can update this to say, learn response to coronavirus. Okay, or, coronavirus updates. All right, so let's do that. And then right here, we'll just go ahead and delete this. We're going to make this column into one column, and then just go ahead and delete one of these. And then this section can be customized. So this is how cool this all works together. Okay, so now this guy can be, let's delete, oops. You can hit undo by Command Z or coming up here and saying undo when you make a big mistake like I just did right there. And then, so if I want to make this wide, a wider, section, then I'm going to come in here and tell it to do max width, let's say 100%. Okay, same thing up here, 100%. And then we're going to say, so that's going to extend this all the way out. And now we're just going to bring this guy in here and delete this guy. And so same thing with this. We're going to do the sizing. This is a max 600 pixels. So right now we're going to say 100% on that. And now it's going to allow it to stretch. So now every time that, this goes, and this is about like a 13-inch screen, about right there. And so now that's looking a lot better, right? And so let's bring this down, let's bring that up. And actually, I'm going to undo that. Boom. All right, so now we want to link to coronavirus page, right? So we're going to come in here. We know we're going to call that page Corona. So put a /Corona and then another /, say in same window, and then hit. I know this pastor wants this right now, so I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Oh, before I do that, I need to say follow updates. Okay. Oops, misspelled that. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit save on that. And then once that's saved, then it'll be live on the home page. And then we can come over here and create that new page. And what we're going to do is to keep all the formatting and everything from a lot of these other pages that we have, and maximize our time, then we're going to duplicate this page. The beliefs page has lots of text on it and stuff. This just created a draft. So now let's use that draft as the coronavirus page. So right here is where you change the name of this page. So Corona, and just make sure that it got updated here in the URL slug. So now that page is going to have this URL, page domain link. Okay, so then you hit publish. Actually, let's not publish that. Let's go ahead and go into, oops, let's go ahead and publish. No one can get to this page unless, so let's view page, and then we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to edit, edit that page, and we're going to customize this, right? So right here, you can come in here and say coronavirus updates, right? Coronavirus. Okay, and then now Pastor can come in here and update all of this text to the way that they really want it. So let's say this Sunday. And then right here, we're going to say, we will be live streaming this Sunday's service. Join us. Okay, so now it's like, hey, we can put a button right here that links to another page that needs to get created, which is the live streaming page, right? And so for now, let's just delete all of this stuff. And hey, we already have a button right there. So what we're going to do here is update that to say live stream, right? And oh, I should have said live stream. Okay. And now the pastor can come in here after they've made a live stream page and embedded their live stream. Actually, let's show you how to embed into a new page. So right now we just said go to that page for your updates, and we're going to delete. Let's just keep those pictures there. That's kind of cool. Actually, let's delete them. Yeah. So if you have questions, email us. There's the footer, and this all works. Say save. So now we got this new page. Let's create another one from this page, which is really basic, and it needs to just be basic because this is going to be the embed page for the live streaming service that we're going to use. So at the moment, this is actually a page that we just created for Crossroads, and this right here is the code for adding their live streaming. With any live streaming platform that you use, they're going to give you some embed code, and you're going to want to copy that code and then add it to, so the Corona, let's go ahead and duplicate that. And again, the draft, you're going to want to change that draft to be the new name, so live stream. Okay, so after this, I'm going to show you how to add all of these pages to your menu. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit publish. That way it saves that, view the page, and then we're going to embed that. So now we're going to embed this into this page. Just for now, it's not their actual live streaming page, but just for example's sake. So we're going to come here, and every time you come into this section here, this column, it gives you an option to add a new module, right? And so you can come in here, hit that plus button. You can say text if you want a new text that's unformatted, or code. Okay, and that's what we're going to want right now. So it brings up this code, and then you can just copy and paste your embed into there. And then you can say sizing. You can tell it to go ahead and center right here. And then now, boom, you have the live streaming available. And then you can update this to say, live stream. All right, so that's the basics, guys. One last little thing: if you want to add a link like this one, watch live on Facebook, then just create text, come into that text, highlight it, and then come in here and say insert edit and insert URL, and then once you hit save, you can open a new window if you want. Then that text is going to end up becoming now a button that people can click on and go to the place where you want them to go. And so I believe that we are done. Actually, nope, we're not. Let's go and show you how to do what we said we would do, which is add the menu items. Okay, so here's how you add a new menu item. You can either come in here and search for the page, you can view all pages, or most recent, which is very conveniently placed. So let's add that to the menu. And it's like, wait, where to go? So it always adds it to the very end, and then you can always just drag it wherever you want. So right now, this is the main component to the website, and then anything that's accented to the side here or tabbed to the side is going to end up being a sub menu to this main menu. So that means we want this to be a main menu item, and we want it to be placed between connect and giving. And then also, if you want to change the text that shows up, I want it to be all caps, live stream. All right, so now that that's there, you can click save. All right, and so I'm gonna refresh this page, and that should be showing up right here. Boom. If you ever want to learn from us, you're definitely able to schedule some time with us, and we'll show you how to update it, or send us, go through the process that we have put in place to ask for changes. And usually the turnaround is 3 to 4 days, and we'll get those changes done for you if they're too advanced for you. And so, but for now, you should be able to get the majority of your updates done immediately there on your end as it's needed. Okay, guys, God bless you as you minister and you work there in your city. Continue to use this website to point people to Jesus. All right, talk to you later, guys.